Hi, this is Jack from Prepper Properties coming to you from the beautiful North Georgia mountains, and this is the first of what I'm calling my prepper tips, basically how-tos for brand new preppers and brand new homesteaders, trying to give them a little advice and help them get started. Now, one of the first animals that most preppers and most homesteaders tend to get is chickens. So that's where we're going to start. First of all, where to get your chickens. A lot of people get chickens from neighbors or people that are getting out of the chickens. They'll give them a bunch of chickens. I personally don't recommend that, because what you're doing is you're getting all their problems. You're bringing their parasites and diseases onto your place. And there's parasites that chickens have that can actually get into the dirt and are extremely hard to get rid of. So what I do is I order my chickens from a mail order hatchery. They come little day-old chicks right in the U.S. mail, and you can order just about any breed you want to order. The hatchery I use is called Murray McMurray. They've got a huge selection of all types of chickens, whether you want meat chickens, chickens for laying, all-purpose chickens, and they've got a bunch of other birds like peacocks, geese. This isn't a commercial for Murray McMurray, but that's who I've used for the last 15 years and always had good luck with them. Another place some people get their chickens is from the feed store. Feed stores like to give away little chicks in the springtime, and the reason they do that is because then they can sell you the feed. And they don't sex their chickens. So after you fed them for about 6 months, suddenly you find out about half of them are going to be roosters. Now you've been feeding those chickens for half a year, and they're not really going to be egg producers for you. You know, you can always put them in the pot, I guess, but I like to have laying hens myself. So another good thing about the day-old chickens from the mail order hatchery is you can order exactly the number of hens you want. If you want a rooster, they can throw a rooster in there. Don't ask me how they do it, how they figure out the sex on a day-old chicken, because I don't know, but they're pretty accurate at it. Now, something that you should do before you get your chickens, just like you should do before you get any animal, is to make sure you have good housing for it. Now, you know, I've made the mistake in the past, a lot of other people probably have too. You go and get an animal, or somebody gives you some animals that they're wanting to get rid of, and you bring them home and you don't really have the place set up yet for them. So for chickens, housing is pretty important. A lot of people like to free range their chickens. Now, I don't do that because there's just too many predators around here. Coyotes, I have dogs, possums, raccoons. You know, if you're really going to take care of your investment that you have in chickens, I believe you should have some good housing for them. So what I did, I built this coop here. It's a 12 by 8 foot. It's got a 4 by 8 foot feed room as part of it, and an 8 by 8 foot roosting area, feed area, and laying area. I also put up this 24 by 12 foot yard, fenced in yard, attached to their coop, so they can get out, they can get plenty of fresh air, sunshine. I like to throw grass in there for them to eat, so they don't have, you know, they're not having to free range to get grass. I fenced over the top of it because we've got a lot of hawks around here, owls. They'll get in there and they'll get after your chickens. So let's go inside the roosting area for a minute, and we'll check out some of the features in there. This is the feed room. I keep some straw in here, keep a bunch of hand tools in here that I use on my place. And go through another door into the roosting area. Now that right there, you see my 25-pound hanging feeder. I used to use just a little trough. I would come out here about every day and put food in their trough, and what ended up happening is they rake about half of it out of there and waste it. This hanging feeder has saved me about 50% in food wastage. You can see one of my hens there in a roosting box. All that is a drawer out of an old desk. I took And I put in here, and they just love to roost in that. They'll all go in there and lay their eggs. Now you see here is the roosting bench. It's got some 2x2 rails so they can come in here and roost at night. And you can also see this underneath there. That fencing is raised up where all the manure drops in. Now we'll go around the back of this coop for a minute and we'll talk about that. Okay, so here we are on the back of the chicken coop. You can see I've got a sliding panel here. It slides across the window in the wintertime, keeps that cold air from blowing in there. In the summertime, I'm able to give them some ventilation. You notice that right here is a door. Now that door leads to right underneath that bench that was there in their roosting area that they roost on. Now I've got a hook, and this thing will go down there and close, just like this one is closed right now. So that opens up, and what that does is I'm able to come about twice a year, shovel that manure out. I can throw it in the back of a truck, a wheelbarrow, or a loader on my tractor. I can put it in my compost pile. I can spread it on my pasture or on my lawn. Makes real good fertilizer for that. And that manure in there, as long as it stays in that building nice and dry, it's almost odorless. Doesn't stink at all. Chicken manure only smells bad when it starts to get wet. So keep the water off of it. No problem. And that way you're getting good use out of all your chicken manure. Well, that's it for this prepper tip. I'll probably do some more. There's a couple more on chickens I want to do. Ask you to remember to go to my website. It's www.prepperpropertiesgeorgia.com. Some good properties on there for sale. And just remember the prepper's motto: don't wait till it's too late. See you later.